welcome to today's Community Connection. I'm Jenna Brooks, your local realtor, and today we have Sarah Hilton. Hello,
Hi, Jenna.
Sarah. Welcome to this amazing Zoom platform that everybody's on these days.
Everybody.
Everybody. Now, for those that don't know Sarah, you are the owner-operator of Spoken Advantage. You are a professional speaking coach, right? How long have you been teaching how to speak, how to promote, yourself online and in person, really?
So Spoken Advantage has been around for almost 14 years. Can't believe I'm saying that. Yes, so it's been around a while. And of course, through that time, it's taken shifts and different journeys. But for the most part, coaching speakers and people that speak for about 14 years.
Amazing. Well, and so Sarah and I have known each other for several years. She saw on LinkedIn, I had posted a community connection and messaged me and was like, hey, Jenna, this is a really good opportunity, especially now that we're in this virtual world, like perhaps I can, give you some tips. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to jump into how Sarah is going to help coach me on speaking. But what I really want people to know is you. I want them to know a little bit more about you and who you are and not just what you do. So what I'm really curious about is, how did you get into speaking? Who wants to public speak?
Yes, one of those rare fans. I think it's because I've always done a little bit on stage. So I was part of a community theater. I took drama in school. I loved the debate class where you got to share different topics and people will know, the people that know me will know that I love to debate situations and different things going on. So I think it's all of that. It's anything to do with a platform or a stage. The theater to me is the place where I feel most at home. So if you ever think of, where do people like the arena if they're hockey fans? For me, it's the theater. I love to go to theater. I watch theater. And so I took an expertise I had, which was mental health at the time, plus the fact that I love to be on the stage and the platform, combine those. And that's how I started getting into speaking.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a fun question. What was the hardest gig you've ever done that you had the most, obstacles with?
Oh my goodness. I've had a couple over the years.
Of course, right?
I would say one was, actually, I'm going to give you two little quick ones. One was when I was in Las Vegas speaking on a stage with all of my peers, so all other speakers, as well as my speaking coach, Mr. Craig Valentine, and I was on his stage. So it was so tough because speaking to your peers is the hardest thing to do. So that was one of the times. I will say that I came through it, I'd say it at about an 80%. I would have given, as soon as you get off the stage, you go, oh, I wish I did that. But, felt good about that and excited to speak in Vegas. And then my other time was with Jeremy Tracy, just in case he's watching. And I was introducing him. So I was his kind of MC to get things going, and I wore heels. I was all dressed up. It was the way that you were supposed to look when you speak. 3 stairs up to the stage, and I fell flat on my face.
No! That's everyone's biggest fear, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I lived through it, and I had a smile on my face the rest of the night. I got home, I was so sore.
Oh, man. But how relatable, right? Immediately, I'm sure the audience was laughing and you probably made fun of yourself or something,
exactly. Right? I was the highlight of the night, they said. So.
Totally. Oh, I love it. See, nobody's perfect.
Nobody.
Fall a million times and get back 1,000,001, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't we know that, Jenna, right? Just with the world today, even, we're doing things for the first time or doing things differently than we usually do. We're going to fall down.
Absolutely. Well, so you've seen me speak, I don't want to say a few times now. I've emceed a couple of events. It's for me, speaking and public speaking, it's not like I like to speak, but I like to coach because I'm naturally a coach at heart with my training background, and I like to teach. And so when I'm talking about something that I'm really engaged with, it becomes fairly natural. So now that you've seen me do some of these impromptu videos, what do you got for me?
So I will say, I just to back up a second, it's not that I go on and I look at all these videos and go, oh, they should be doing this and they should be doing this and they should be doing. But like a lifeguard, once you're a lifeguard, you're always a lifeguard, right? So you're always watching the water. You can't keep your eyes off of other people's kids in the water as far as watching for their safety. And so when I saw yours, I loved all the questions that you asked the audience. You asked, are you thinking about whether you should buy or sell, or what the market's like, or how things are different if you do visit a house? Like you posed a lot of questions, and right away I was like, oh, Jenna, I was missing one component, and that's why I reached out to you.
Perfect.
And the piece that I was missing, we call it the tease and transport.
Okay.
So the tease is giving us, instead of asking all the questions and say, please call, please call, please call, which is very kind of you to offer your audience, but give them a little tease of a little bit of knowledge first.
Okay.
And then transport them to you for more. So it's like you want to leave your audience wanting more of you.
For sure. Okay.
So that was the one piece. That was the one piece I thought, wow, if you'd given us one of those answers to one of those questions, and then say for more, now you're teasing us with a little bit of your knowledge and your expertise, and now you're transporting us to your world, whether that's emailing you or following you on Facebook or whatever that looks like.
Right.
So that.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's just one piece. Like you had so many good questions in there. I was waiting for one little bit of information, even if I'm not looking for a house, right? It's just, wow, never thought of the real estate market right now kind of thing,
Right. And I'm sure that so many people can relate to this when you're a business owner, and especially right now we're in this pandemic, and it's really crucial, to keep transactions happening, to keep the economy going. And for me personally, I always find it very hard. Like, I don't want to put out a video that says, hey, work with me. Like, it's not a direct ask, but I genuinely hope that the more content that I put out that's indirect, where people can connect with me and get to know me, that naturally when you think real estate, you want to work with me. Like, I don't like the direct ask, like, hey, if you're thinking of buying and selling, pick me, like, so those promo videos are kind of tough. So I love that you just said, ask all those questions and then give them the teaser, the piece of content or information that's going to keep them wanting to come back for more.
And the other reason for doing that, Jenna, just like you said, right? You don't want to be that person just saying, I want business, I want to keep the economy going, real estate's still a thing right now and all of that. You don't want to put it that way. But even by doing that, say I'm not looking for housing, but all of a sudden I find out that my brother or my sister is, then when they say something, it's going to trigger me to, hey, Jenna made a really good point about that. Call Jenna, right?
Yeah,
so now it gives me something that I can work with. It's like a mini story, because you've given me a case study or a story that then I can transport to share with other people or my network, or call you for more information.
Totally. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And I work with a lot of realtors, and I think one of the things right now is the whole fact that people generally are looking for good information and someone that they can like and trust, even more so love and trust at this time of our journey in this world right now. Yeah. So the more you do video, the better it is for your audience, because they get to know you and get to know your style and who you are and what you're about. And then you won't have to promote yourself that way, Jenna, but you can promote yourself like you're doing, is just giving some good information and sharing and opening up your heart and your expertise to others.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that whether you're in real estate, like whichever industry you're in, right, it's so crucial. Before COVID, like before the pandemic, obviously, social marketing is all about impressions, right? And knowing what type of content to put out at what point, during the day, when is your audience looking at it, having different touch points throughout the week and the day with different types of material. So it's not like you're constantly sending out an ask, right? You're giving something fun and engaging. You're giving some credibility to the actual industry. So industry knowledge, right? And you're giving a personality piece, like you're just constantly touching base, and regardless of what industry you're in, that's what we need to be doing right now so that you are top of mind, right?
And here's one thing that you and I have talked about, Jenna, but it's just like, you don't have to do it like everybody else either.
Right.
So I look at my industry and I know that a lot of trainers and consultants and coaches are on there just online, like doing trainings and getting together and having a Zoom call that other people can, having guest speakers and doing all of that. That is great. But my thought to this is, it's got to be great for you. If you're not the type of person that likes to do that, it's going to come across on your videos or in your way that you're interacting with people these days. We had talked too, like right now I'm in a pause. I am just coaching Zoom because I'm comfortable with that. I like to do that. I'm offering that for different folks and getting to know different people. I'm coaching on presentation skills for video and for podcasts and for all these kinds of things. But here's the thing. I'm not ready to take an online training and put it out there because I'm not sure that that's good for me or my business. It's what's not going to fill me with joy. So I'm pausing and reflecting and making that decision, not because, hey, everyone else is doing it, but because it has to be right for me. And then it will be right for the clients.
Yeah, absolutely. If it resonates with you, you'll be able to share that and influence it. And here's a side note, folks. So before we jumped on, Sarah and I were chatting about, what type of content we wanted to deliver. And she just shared that with me. She wasn't sure the direction that she wants to go into her business. I said, perfect, let's share that. And here we go. We went through this whole interview. And so naturally, Sarah, you were able to still bring that in without me even asking. So I think that that's a really good takeaway for somebody that you're working with, because you could teach people how to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's key. Okay. Like play off, and it's really good for interviewing, or if you are doing guest podcasts and things like that right now, those skills are so important just because it becomes more fluid and not like, we call it ping pong, right? You don't want to be going like this, person to person to person to person to person. You just want to have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity and your time today. And I'm really glad that you're getting an opportunity to also spend so much time with your family, like we were talking about before. Yeah, that's a blessing right there. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks, Sarah. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.